Would have been a little bit too far out on that one. It does happen though. Okay, that should do it for now. Now we're going to chart this data. Now what I mean by chart this data is we need to look at the distance in pockets between number A and number B for each spin. This chart here shows what I call the jump count. It's basically the distance in pockets between number A and number B. So say for example, if the value on the x-axis here is 0, that means number A and number B are exactly the same. A jump count of +1, or first of all, hang on, the scale goes from 0 to +18, and then from -18 down to -1. This is basically a circular chart. So that end here on the left joins up to the end on the right. Now, as I was saying, a jump count of +1 means that the ball has landed or traveled +1 pockets between number A and number B. And in this case, the bar is 2 values high, which means the number of times that has happened in our samples is 2 times. Now what we need to look for is a grouping of high bars, basically where this blue line is above this green line. It shows the average. This is the green value, which is the average value, and the blue line is just a modified curve. It tells us where the grouping of the high bars are. So in this case, they're highlighted by the green, which means in this area here, on the left of the chart and on the right of the chart. Because this green area here, or the highlighted area here, is right next to this part here, we can actually join them up. And this basically tells us that the approximate distance that the ball lands from the reference number A to the actual end number B is around about the same point. It's not an uncommon situation, but it makes it easier to apply. Now, if for example this green area or the high bars were in the middle area, what that means is the area we need to bet on, which is where the ball is landing, is approximately 180 degrees, which is opposite number A. Now I'll give you some actual examples of application. These are our sample spins here. We'll be betting on roughly the same number as number A, covering about 18 pockets in that region, which is conveniently half the wheel. This number here is just the reference time in the spins that I'm using. So we want to get the prediction when there's about 6 to 7 revolutions before the ball falls. So 11. Okay, here's 11 here and 24. That'll be just counted as a win because it's within the 18 pocket arc. as I may have said earlier, you can afford to have quite sloppy application, and there are a lot of other methods that deal with the variation of rotor speeds, but this is a very simplistic method. Normally we would actually skip this particular spin. That's because the rotor speed's outside the norm. Actually missed that one, but it was around about 32, I think. That's number 8. $31. I was one revolution too far on that one. 23 and 4. $30. Again too far. If you're off a revolution, what actually happens depends on the speed of the rotor, the configuration of the diamonds. There's a lot of different variables. It can be a positive thing or it can be a negative thing. Basically got a 50-50 chance. 0. It's important to keep track of the number of revolutions, because over time you do get a bit sloppy with application. Like I can notice the data I'm obtaining now and the number of revolutions after number A, it's not as consistent as it is in the first set. So it just shows I'm doing something wrong, or not as good application. Application is not as competent. You might have seen other visual ballistic demonstrations on the internet, although the wheels they use is a fair bit easier than this one. This is much more difficult. To anyone that doesn't know what they're actually looking at, it might look like magic or cheating. It's actually a very basic thing. We'll just do this one more spin, then we'll have a look at the chart. This chart here is a representation of the second set of spins. These are the spins where we've actually played on. Now, as you can see, the green areas are much in the same area. The green areas represent the peaks or the high areas. This is a proper statistical analysis. So on the left hand side we've got the green area, and on the right hand side we've got the green area. We've got a secondary green area in the center, but the main areas are the left and the right, and that's exactly where we were betting. So in this situation we would have clearly profited. Now in this technique that I've actually taught you here, again I have to say that it's a very simplistic technique. Anyone can use it. There are certain circumstances of course where you can't use it, but this is by no means the most effective visual ballistics techniques there is. There are techniques that deal better with the variation in the rotor speed. With this particular technique, what you need to do is you need to stick with rotor speeds that are much the same speed. So if you find a dealer spins the wheel or the rotor far too fast or inconsistent with the other spins, then just simply skip that spin. Now with the actual the genuine winner system, while I do teach visual ballistics and more advanced visual ballistics techniques, generally there are two techniques I don't like, and that's visual ballistics, which is what I've just taught you, and bias analysis. There are a few reasons for it, but comparatively they're older techniques. They're not as effective as what is available with the modern techniques that I teach.